How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another video. It is old 10-4 day, October 4th. It's about 5:20-ish, 5:30 in the afternoon. I just got here to the field. We've had a couple breakdowns the last couple days, so we've kind of been going for a little bit and then shutting down for a while. But we are in the field today, and they've gotten a lot done up here, up north, at one of our up north bean fields. We've gotten everything in this patch done. And then across the waterway here, we got all that done all the way across. Our whole north patch is done. And they are currently across the road on the south patch. You can kind of see the combine and the big cart sitting there. But I just showed up, so I'm gonna wait until somebody comes over here to the north patch and gives me the game plan, figure out what's going on. But we're cutting beans again today. I thought we were gonna switch to corn because we had a breakdown on the bean head, but they were able to band-aid it and get it just a temporary fix so we could keep going until we get the right part. And so they ended up keeping running for a little bit, and then we had another breakdown on the actual combine yesterday, not the head. And so they were only able to open things up, and it broke down. So now we are running again, and everything looks to be going good. The combine's running, the grain cart's running. The small cart is not here. With the breakdown yesterday, they ended up disconnecting the 47 off of the small cart and hooked it up to the baler, and they were out baling corn stalks yesterday. So the little cart is not here. If it was, I'd jump in it and go. But yesterday it was disconnected, and that 47 was hooked up to the baler somewhere baling corn stalks. We use the corn stalks as bedding for cows. But combine's going good, it looks like. We're right along the major 2-lane highway here, so I don't want to just walk across there. I'll wait till the grain cart comes over here and I'll figure out what's going on. Jump into something, I don't know. Maybe it'll just be a night in the truck tonight. I don't know. But figured I'd start this video off. I'm gonna wait over here until I get the game plan and we'll see what's going on. Alright guys, it's now a little after 7:30. I'm sitting here in the 8320. Dad is running the grain cart today, and me and Sadie are in here. We had a problem with one of the sickles on the bean head back there, and so Dad and Scott are looking at that right now, but I'm sitting in the 8320. I figured I would kind of go into a little bit more detail on how this transmission works. I know how to drive this tractor. I can go and do circles right now if I wanted to. But I want to tell you guys why I really like this transmission. This transmission here, it's kind of a little hard to see because it's dark, but you should be able to see. You have your throttle here, right, where if you rev it up, obviously it revs your engine up, all that jazz, you know. This is your throttle. And then up here is, of course, your shifter. Right now we're in park, but you can also see on the deal there, you got neutral, reverse, and then you got your F1 and you got your F2. And you can see there that there's this triangle that gets bigger as you go up. This means that I can put it up in F1 and I can get her going and I can start driving down the row here. And if I want to slow down, if I want to keep my engine speed up but slow down, I don't even have to touch the throttle. And this is technically also hydrostatic. Like if you were driving a combine or a sprayer where they got the big orange lever here and you pull the whole thing. That's what they call a hydrostat. I can put it in F1 all the way up here, and if I'm going 6 miles an hour with it, and I need to, we're loading on the go here, I need to slow down to 3.5, I can back it off if I want to. Or if I'm going across a waterway or something like that is probably a better example of using it this way. If I'm going across a waterway and I need to slow down, I can just back it off and pull it to about here, or about halfway, and it'll slow me down while my engine speed stays up, which is really, really cool. And another thing too, you really don't even have to touch the brakes or the clutch with this tractor due to this being hydrostatically controlled. It's kind of like a combine where there's no clutch or no brakes really. Or I guess there's brakes, but you don't really have to use them. But then you got this little dial here. You got this black dial that's on this right side here. I'll turn on my light so you can see it here. I'll zoom in and turn on the light. You can see I've got this lens. You can see I've got this dial here. And so, for example, I'm going to put it in neutral. So you can see it's got all my gears. It's going to, since I'm in neutral, it's going to cycle through. Right? It's showing that speed down there that you're seeing, that speedometer, that is showing how fast I will go if I wind this throttle, if I go all the way up. If I go all the way up, full throttle, high engine speed, that is how fast I will go currently. So a lot of you are like, wait, what do you mean? But this dial here, if you pay attention, I'll let it get to F1, and if I start rotating that dial, you can see it's going up. I can say, I want to speed up, and I can crank this up a little bit. And if I'm going down the field like this, I'll let it go back to F1. If I'm going down the field at 6.8, I need to slow down to dump on the go, bam, 3.4. I can do it like that. And this is pretty much a cruise control, kind of. I'll put it back in park. This is kind of like a cruise control in the fact that I can set my speed with the dial. I can set it with the bottom speedometer that pops up here. Obviously this one is actually the speedometer of how fast you're currently going. But if I want to go 3.5, for dumping on the go, I can turn this dial and set my F1 at 3.4 or 3.6. It goes by the even numbers. And then I can keep my engine speed wound up all the way. I can keep it wound up all the way, so if we're going up a hill or something like this, I can put all the power I need to into the engine, but I'm only going 3.5 miles an hour. I don't have to let off the throttle to slow down. I can put all the throttle in it I want. I am not going any faster than what the number is down here, which is really, really cool. It makes it really, really easy to operate, and it just makes it really nice for dumping on the go, for dumping onto the trucks. You can turn it down to like 1.8 or even lower than that, so that even if you have it wound up all the way or wound up so that you're running your auger at a good speed, you're only gonna go like 1.5 miles an hour, whatever you set it to, which is a really, really cool system. I really like this transmission. So I'm hoping here soon I'll be able to drive this thing. I could drive it now, but we're already set up to load on the go here once they get going again, so I don't want to mess up his line. But I figured I would kind of explain this transmission to you, because none of the other tractors that we have this kind of transmission. So I figured now that I've been in it enough and stuff like this, I can obviously tell you how it operates, which is really, really cool. I really like this transmission style. Really easy to operate, and it's got a lot of different things that you can do with it to keep you at a certain speed while keeping your engine up, which I really, really like. So they're going to keep on working on this combine here. I'm going to give Sadie some company here in the tractor. I figured I would just give you guys an explanation of this transmission, this IVT transmission in this tractor. But I'm going to keep on waiting, and we're going to get back going here, guys, and we'll see what happens. Well, guys, it is 11:27 and we are leaving the field. This field is done. We were able to work through the glitches on the combine and we were able to get this field done. So it's just going to be a matter of dumping this partial load off in the morning for them and moving equipment. They're going down south to the Ag News field by where we keep our steers and heifers, usually down south. They'll be down there working the beans down there. So as long as everything works out fine, that's where I'll head tomorrow after work. But I'm gonna get home and go to bed because I gotta be up for work tomorrow. So I'm gonna head on home and get to bed, guys, because it's late. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing the nighttime action of the combine and the cart. I'm gonna get on home and we'll see what happens tomorrow. We got Jonesy here. He's in the buddy seat now.
I'm the co-pilot.
He's the co-pilot. First time running the 8320. I showed you guys kind of how this transmission works, and so now we're putting it in action here. Best co-pilot for racing and tractor driving right here. Old Jonesy.
Anybody wants an autograph, it's only $10. So.
Only, oh.
Yep.
But yep, running the 8320 with the big grain cart on. We're down here way down south in the field we call Besco Bottom. Knocking out quite a bit of ground of these dusty beans. So this is the field we're in, way down south here. This is what we call the Besco Bottom. It's a really nice flat field, really big flat field. You can see the dust over there. Way over there is where we are currently combining. We are on the far east patch, and that's all we have left. They have covered all this ground here. Whole big field, nice big flat field. But yeah, the beans are just really dusty down here. But Jonesy is currently dumping off onto my dad's truck with the 8320. Very dusty beans today. Makes it hard to see your piles. But yeah, I got to run the 8320. It's pretty much going to be the same thing that I did last year with the 8270. Jonesy is going to have me run it when we're chasing down the combine, so I can get used to the transmission, get used to how it works, get figure out what does what, and just get in the rhythm of it, and then we'll move up the ladder from there. But the elevator is already closed because it is Sunday today. But it's just a matter of we have 2 trucks out dumping right now. There must be a line up there for all the last minute guys trying to get in before the elevator shut down for the day. So they should be getting back here. Both trucks have been gone easily for over an hour. So I would hope that they'd be getting back here soon so we can keep on at least filling the trucks up, filling the carts, whatever we got to fill, get as much done as we can. And if we have to finish up in the morning and move equipment, we will. But this is our last bean field. I don't know if I've kept you up to speed on how much we have left, but this is our last bean field. And after that, we will be back to corn, and we will run corn for the rest of harvest, which means it's going to be game on. It's a night and day difference between corn and beans this year. Beans, it's a lot of sitting around, waiting for the combine, and you can keep up with one cart pretty easy. But with corn this year, with a 12-row corn head and a bigger combine, it's been back and forth constantly, filling up constantly. And so it's going to be game on for the rest of harvest, which will be fun. But it's also going to be fast paced, so it's a matter of keeping up and hoping we don't have very many breakdowns. But Jonesy's going to finish filling this truck up, and I'm going to jump back in with him and get some. I might get some more footage. I might have Jonesy film me driving the 8320 a little bit. We'll have to see. But I'm going to go ahead and wait for him to jump out, get done, and I'll jump in, and we'll see what happens here. Good morning, everybody. It is now October 9th, Monday morning. It is right at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we are back out here in the field. Jonesy is dumping off the 8320 into the Peterbilt on what should be our last day of soybean harvest 2023. We have a few more hours worth of work ahead of us here to get the beans done. But this, like I said earlier in this video, this is the last bean field that we have. So pretty much it'll be hauling equipment home probably this afternoon. We'll be hauling all the equipment home, hauling the head home, all this. We'll be switching it over to corn, and we'll be back into the constant back and forth the corn harvest. But I'm riding along with Jonesy today. We'll probably get a little bit more driving action today in the 8320. We got a full day's worth of work ahead of us, so I'm going to take you guys along. We'll see how it goes. Starting the morning out right. We're getting everything filled up with fuel so we can get the day going without any problems, hopefully. Just fired up the combine. It's fueled up and ready to go. We'll fire this girl up.
Now Jones is ready to go.
Jones is ready to go. We put whatever fuel we had left in the service truck in this thing. So both machines are ready to go. And we're gonna start in on this patch here. This is all we have left. It'll take a while, a little bit to do. But as long as everything works good, we'll be just fine. Alright guys, it's now just after 11. I'm running the 8320 once again. We've been working right along here, getting her knocked out. This is what we got going here. We just dumped off on the black truck and it took off. We definitely got it's narrower up here than it is down here. It's wider up here than it is up on this side. But we're trucking right along, getting her done. Haven't had any problems yet.
Yep, you're co-drivers in the bunk sleeping.
Yep, co-driver's in the bunk sleeping today. Don't know what Jonesy's doing today. And I'm trying to get Jonesy talked into it. I had one yesterday. It's our tradition when we farm these fields down here. There's an A&W restaurant in the nearby town. Gee, the auto steer thing is going crazy every time I hit a line. But there's an A&W restaurant down here around where we farm this ground, and it's our tradition that every time we come down here, we have to go there for lunch or supper, or whatever time lines up right, we have to go and get A&W. And so we went to A&W yesterday after we got all done, and we just swapped places so we can get the combine dumped. But there's like I said, there's an A&W restaurant that we always eat at. And I'm not usually a fall guy when it comes to the foods. Everybody's all like pumpkin spice crazy and all this in the fall. But I seen on their menu yesterday that they had an apple pie milkshake. And I honestly thought that sounded really good. So I thought, you know what? I'll give that a try. And so I tried one yesterday, and sure enough, oh, it was delicious. So I tried talking Jonesy into getting one today.
Oh, yeah.
So we might have some of those today. They're really darn good, but you can see here throughout the dust, the combine is full, so we are gonna dump off on it, and we're gonna keep on going. Look, guys, Grandpa's letting me drive.
Yeah. Oh,
We have fun out here. We have to have fun out here, you know. And Alright guys, it's now 11:40. Jonesy's dumping another load off. I always hop out of the tractor when he's loading, especially with how dusty it is, so that he can see and I'm not in his way. But I figured I would show you guys. Everybody pretty much knows what corn looks like, you know, little kernels of corn. But I figured I would show you guys what we're working with today. These are soybeans. I'll kind of get them out of the shadow here. And you can see they're just little beans. And you can see the little, what I would call like the cat's eye. That little black or brown slit. That is where the bean attaches to the pod when it's in the pod and it's growing. Because they grow on plants and they come in just like peas. They come in a pod. And there's usually 3, sometimes I've seen 4 in a pod. Most common is about 3 per pod. And so that is soybeans. This is what we are harvesting today. That's what's going out of the field, and that's what's being dumped in the truck now. Just hundreds and hundreds of bushels of these guys right here. Soybeans. So I figured I'd just show you guys what soybeans look like, just in case you haven't seen it before. But we're gonna keep on going here. Jonesy's been letting me run the 8320, just like last year with the 8270. Letting me run it when it's empty, or if we have like one dump on it, letting me just drive it in the field. When it comes to coming up to the combine and dumping, he has me switch with him. Even though at this point I've approached a combine with a grain cart and I've done that before. You know, we're just taking baby steps and we're learning along the way, which is totally fine. But we're gonna get dumped off here. We're gonna get the cart unloaded into Dad's truck, and we'll see what we do next. Well guys, it's now 3:45. We're dumping on the semi once again, and I think this is gonna be the last truckload that's gonna be hauled out of here. We loaded up the black truck and it took off, and they pretty much told him not to worry about coming back. and we're gonna load this truck clear full. This what we have on should fill this truck clear up. And we just have a little bit left way back behind those trees there. We did have a little breakdown, nothing too major. He was combining, and all of a sudden there's a center auger in the back of that head that pretty much sends it from the head into the throat of the combine. And that auger stopped turning. And so I came over with the service truck, hooked onto the header trailer and took it over to that patch. And we just dropped the head onto the trailer like we were gonna haul it away, so we could open it up and we could see what was going on, and we can get direct access to that auger. And it wasn't even that bad. That chain just came off the idler pulley right there on that auger, so it wasn't causing it to turn. So we just had to loosen some bolts, move those sprockets around, get that chain readjusted, and get it set right back in the sprockets and stuff like it's supposed to be. Tighten everything back up, put the guard back on, and it was good to go. And it's been running fine ever since. But we are pretty much done with this field. He's gonna keep on, guaranteed he should be able to get everything that's left probably on the combine anyway. And we'll probably have to dump it onto the cart and just haul it back in the cart. I don't know how that's gonna work yet. We'll get the game plan here once everything is out of the ground. But soybean harvest is coming to a close, and we'll ship everything home tonight. It's about 2.5, well, maybe about 2 hours, 2.5 hours at the very most, to get all the equipment home. So it'll be a little while yet before we are actually shutting down for the night. We gotta load everything up and haul the equipment home. And then probably tomorrow they will start on corn. I have to work tomorrow, so I will end up calling them when I get off work and figure out what field they're in, and I will jump in and join them when I'm off work. Looks like the combine is coming up. He must have got done, because he's coming up with the head up, so I'm hoping he got done. We will have to see. But soybean harvest is coming to a close, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing all the soybean action. But it's a matter of getting everything all the way back up north, back home, and we're gonna switch to corn, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, it is now 4:30. I am in the service truck. Scott is in the combine ahead of me. You might be able to see him there. He's in front of me with the combine. I am pulling the bean head home. You can kind of see it in my rear view mirror there. I'm pulling the header trailer with the big 40-foot Macdon bean head. And Jonesy is behind me in the grain cart tractor, and we are hauling the equipment home. We were able to get all the beans onto Dad's truck, so officially bean harvest is done for the year. We are done with beans, and now it's on to corn. We're gonna get everything home and probably shut down for the night, guys. And tomorrow it'll be starting on corn. We have some rain chances coming in about Wednesday, Thursday-ish, so it might shut us down for a day. Who knows? Here's a good view of Scott now that we're getting on the pavement. He's getting out here with the combine. Jonesy's behind me. But we are done with soybean harvest. I'll give you guys a good look at my trailer as I'm turning here. As long as nobody's popping the hill, I think I'm good to go, folks. You can see Jonesy back there too. You can see we're trucking right along here, guys. But we have a long way to go. When you can only go about 20-25 miles an hour, it takes a couple hours to get home. So I'd say by 7 o'clock-ish, we'll be home and shut down, and we'll be getting shut down and all this stuff like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and concentrate on getting this thing home, guys. Thank you guys for joining us for soybean harvest 2023. We're gonna switch back to corn probably tomorrow, and that's what we're gonna carry on with for the rest of harvest. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys when we're done hauling this stuff home. All right, guys, it's been about a half hour. We're still trucking away here, getting closer by the minute to the shop. We still got a long ways to go yet. But I kind of just been thinking to myself here, and I kind of thought I would let this serve as kind of a PSA to you guys, because I have heard already of quite a few accidents that have happened with what we are doing right here. A lot of people around this time of year, people are getting around, go, 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 and they don't slow down or move over or look out for farm equipment moving on the roads. Now, what we are doing today is usually when we move equipment, we try to use as many gravel roads as possible so that we are not on the main busy roads. But even then, we still meet cars. You know, we've already met maybe 3-4 cars already. But even then, you know, it doesn't matter if you're on a gravel road, a paved road, it doesn't matter what you're on. Farm equipment is moving around this time of year, and it's just best to move over, stay out of the way as best you can, slow down for them. We always have beacon lights on and 4-way flashers on, so it's pretty easy to see us, and we're big, heavy pieces of equipment, so it's not hard to miss us. But if you're coming up over a hill really, really fast and you don't see the farm equipment, you know, that's how the accidents can happen. I've heard of a few accidents already happening this fall of cars versus farm equipment. So I kind of just thought I would take this as a teaching lesson for you guys. If you guys do live in the Midwest or pretty much anywhere that has farm equipment running around this time of year, just yield to them. Look out for them. Be on the lookout for them. Because we are very heavy pieces of equipment. We kind of have to stay in a certain space. We have to kind of ride in the middle of the road because we're wide. And so we will move over as much as we possibly can for you. But you kind of have to work with us as well. So kind of your PSA for the day, just look out for farm equipment. Avoid any accidents. We're trying to avoid any accidents, get to where we need to be, and hopefully you guys can too. I just kind of thought I would let that be kind of a teaching lesson since we're hauling equipment home today. But we're going to go ahead and get this stuff on home, guys, and we'll see what happens next. All right, guys, it's now 6:33. We just got back here to the shop with all the equipment. We pulled the combine over to the fuel barrel and got it filled up with diesel and DEF. And now he's going to pull the combine into the shop so it can be greased, and I'm going to take the 8320 here and pull it up to the fuel barrel and start putting diesel in it. Jonesy's going in to get DEF for this thing. For those of you who don't know what DEF is diesel exhaust fluid. It's supposed to clean up the exhaust a little bit, stuff like that. I'm going to wait for him to get the combine completely out of the way before I bring this big girl into the scenario. But it was smooth sailing, getting up here with all the equipment. So Scott is moving the combine now. I'm going to fire this girl up. Yes! Let things kind of warm up here. Mute the music. And we're going to get going here. I'm going to put it in neutral. And I'll put it in F1. And we'll get her going here. This is the first time I've run the 8320 by myself. Usually I got Jonesy with me, but I told him, I says, I can go back out, walk out there and hop in the tractor and get her all fueled up and get it up to the fuel barrel for you. I did this with the 8270 last year too. Not a big deal at all. So I'm going to turn my dial down and just so I putt along. I can almost rev it all the way up, and I can only go 6.4 at this point. And I'm going 3 miles an hour. That's all I really need. My gas tank is on this side, so as long as I get it up here by the fuel barrel, we'll be just fine. I'll go ahead and rev her down. Oh, I probably did that a little too early. Get her nice and close here. Hit my brakes to come to a stop. Put it in neutral. Put it in park. I'll leave it running while we fill her up, and she'll be good to go. guys, it's now 9:30. Me and Dad just got home a little while ago. Pretty much what we did was, as we were bringing the equipment back, taking our sweet time, as going as fast as we could, Dad had taken the semi full of beans, took it up here to the cattle feedlot, to the bin site, dumped it off, and then what they did was they took the grain vac and they vacked out all the beans that were still in the pit, and they loaded it up in a gravity wagon that we'll just use a pickup for and haul it to town. Pretty much, since we're done with beans now, we wanted to clean that pit, get all the beans out so that no beans go into the corn bin and mix with the corn. We took all the beans out and they are loaded in a different wagon so they can be hauled to town and unloaded and sold. And so now the pit is open and ready to go for corn. We already have the front bean bin shut, and we have that cross auger, that cross leg opened up, ready to go, so we can start dumping into the back bin, which is the corn bin. So that will be ready to go. We did a little bit of work on the combine. We did some greasing on it, and then we noticed there was a bearing that was bad, so we just quickly popped that bearing out, and they're gonna get a new bearing tomorrow and get that put in. So by the time I get off work at 5, they should be out running. They should be running just fine. And I already pretty much know which field they're gonna be in, but who knows, they could have that field knocked out by the time I get there. I don't know. So we'll have to see where we're at. We'll have to see what we're doing. But I think with the end of soybean harvest today, I think that's a good place to wrap this video up. We had quite a bit of action in the field. We ran the 8320 for the first time. We did quite a bit in this video. So I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you guys smash the like button on this video. Spread the word of the channel, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me today and wrapping up soybean harvest. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.